assistance that we can going forward. I think it's going to be important for us to make sure that we recognize these kinds of attacks can happen anywhere in the world. And one of the things I'll be discussing with Secretary Kerry today is to make sure that we remain vigilant, not just with respect to Americans living in Paris, but Americans living in Europe and the Middle East and other parts of the world, making sure that we stay vigilant in trying to protect them.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, very low key. Didn't call it Islamic terror. And it reminds me, as we are joined by former Republican House Majority Leader, I should say, Congressman Tom DeLay. Congressman, it reminds me of, when the five rabbis were slaughtered in Jerusalem with meat cleavers. Same thing, very laid back, no emotion. I don't get it.
Well, I want to know, Steve, what does he mean by being vigilant? He's just going to watch it happen, or is he going to watch closed-circuit television, or he's going to watch Newsmax to see what's going on in the world? Is that what vigilance means? Why doesn't he talk about going after the terrorists? Why doesn't he talk about the fact that we are still at war with these Islamists? It's amazing to me, but the American people are getting it. This guy is going to go down as one of the worst presidents in history.
Yeah, I mean, what you would like to hear is, any group or nation state that gave these people any aid or support or comfort will be attacked, and if it ever came to our shores, would feel the full wrath of the American government and military. None of that, because he doesn't have it in him, because he wouldn't do it.
Yeah, exactly right. He wants the Secretary of State, not the Secretary of Defense. He wants the Secretary of State to tell the world that we're going to be vigilant. And I guess they're going to send John Kerry over to do a little tour of Europe or something. It's just the most incompetent president that I've ever seen. This is a guy that is making America weaker and putting us in more danger. If our enemies don't know that we're going to come after them on a moment's notice, we're going to send in SEAL Team 6 or whatever it takes to go hit these people, they'll keep doing it, and we're less safe.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's look ahead. We had the Congressman Boehner sworn in again as a majority leader. Did you ever have hope that maybe one of the people running against him could dethrone him?
Well, I knew that wasn't going to happen. Unfortunately, this plan to dethrone Boehner should have happened last summer, and they should have been planning. They should have found a candidate that would rally around them. They should have had at least there's about 50 to 60 members that if you really had a great strategy, would have voted against Boehner, and it would all come down. In fact, I talked to some of them. They thought they had at least 31 members that had committed to vote against Boehner or vote for somebody else, and it didn't happen. And the other thing that happened too is I give credit to the Democrats for helping elect Boehner, because with 20 Democrats absent, the bar for the majority was way low.
Less. Yeah.
So the Democrats helped elect Boehner.
Yeah, that's interesting. What about the reports of retaliation for those who voted against the speaker?
Well, my advice to the speaker is he better not. I don't mind retaliating against members that go against the Republican caucus and as a whole, but you don't retaliate because a member stands up and votes his conviction. And you don't retaliate because of a personal embarrassment of the speaker. I think it will backlash on him like nobody's business. For instance, those 31 members I was talking about, they could coalesce together, and if they told Boehner that they'll never vote for a rule, that you have to have a rule in order to bring any bill to the floor to debate, then Boehner can't bring any bills to the floor.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have that kind of backlash, and I hope that's what they're talking about doing. to make sure that Boehner thinks twice before he takes on and retaliates against people that have voted their convictions.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting year, as you and I said before we hooked up here. So I thank you.
Yeah, we're starting the year with a Boehner.
I love that. That's a good one. All right, Mr. DeLay, we'll speak to you soon, Congressman. As always, a pleasure.
Sure, Steve. Glad to be with you.
Take care. All right, up next, folks, author and professor of medicine at Brown University, Dr. Andrew Boston, with his unique take on yesterday's terrorist attacks and what we could expect next. Coming up next.